Sounding absolutely wonderful in session for Six Music. That's Candidate and Tom and Tracy, another couple of live tunes on the way. And this is all on the back of, and that tune is taken from, the new album, first LP since 2007. The backstory to which seems to begin with the very sad news of the passing of Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne. How did that prove to be a catalyst?
Well, yeah, we were all really big Fountains of Wayne fans, and we really liked Adam. And it was lockdown, and we were all at home, as everyone was. And it was a slightly strange time that you were it was sort of timeless and odd and weird and suspended. And then suddenly something changed, because nothing was changing. And suddenly someone we really liked and admired had died, and died of COVID. So we went, oh, God, this is real. And we thought we'd get together and do what a lot of people were doing, which is those little videos where bands were at home. So we did one of those home videos where we did it. And it's the first time we'd played together for ages. And we were still friends, but we hadn't recorded anything together for 15, 16 odd years. And we did a cover version of All Kinds of Time by Fountains of Wayne, which was, even though it's a song about sport and American football, which means nothing to any of us, seemed to be a song about realising you have all the time in the world, because you're locked down, there's nothing else to do. And also no time at all, because someone who we really loved had died.
Yeah, and that led you to then decide, let's turn this into an LP at some point.
Yeah, well, we started working together. It seemed quite easy to do. And I think, I don't know, sometimes you wonder why you've stopped.
It's taken a long time to come to that, but yeah, as you say, there was no formal split, and there was always, the door was, if not ajar, then there was a slight crack in that you could push open at some point, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
as brothers, I mean, it's going to be slightly awkward if you do really, really have a humdinger and never ever want to set foot in the room with each other again, which of course can happen.
Well, we're not the Gallagher brothers. We do actually,
But over all that period of time, you must have had things building up and ideas, but not really talking about it, because you can't be very musical and then not be musical for so long, can you?
Yeah. I mean, nothing ever seemed to be good enough. And then suddenly it was.
Yeah, I think we had that thing where kind of, we'd done Oxengate in, was that 2007?
Yeah.
And it was kind of, it was reasonably well received, and kind of people seemed to like it, and then we tried to do some stuff up, and it wasn't really sort of going anywhere. It felt like kind of, is that the final statement? Is that it?
I think other creative outputs kind of took over, especially for you two as well.
We sort of distracted by, as happens, you get distracted by the jobs, and the industry had changed so much. I mean, we're a band who came out at the point in the industry where it exploded, which is around sort of 99, 2000s, when Napster happened. And suddenly being in a band is a very different thing. And everyone I know who's in a band from that era had day jobs, and suddenly everything was very complicated. And after a while, you start going, actually, I think what we'll do is we'll just go very quiet for a bit and find out what happens. And then the answer was, what happened during the pandemic is we suddenly thought, actually, hang on, this was always about just making music together, and we'd forgotten how much we loved it.
And technology caught up with that idea.
Yes, we could all work together and record.
Do you have agreement on your favourite chord, or is it just you, Joel, who loves the B5?
Big fan of B5.
B5, sorry, beg your pardon, B5.
Big open B5.
And is that shared? Ian,
as long as it's not E flat.
Yeah, we do this to Ian. We keep
not a bass player's friends.
Yeah, okay. But I like a big open chord. It's that Birds thing, isn't it? Well, someone told me that the reason the Birds used to those big fifth chords is because Rickenbacker necks are really thin, and you can't get all your fingers on the neck, so everything's ringing. You can only get one finger down at a time. I love those chords.
Now you see, Jim McGuinn will have wanted everybody to think that he was just an absolute musical genius, and now you're just telling me it's about the size of the guitar neck.
Big fat hands, big fat, like Mickey Mouse gloves. That's
right.
The problem.
Truth will out.
Yeah, well, that's how you get psychedelic folk. It's having big fat hands on a small neck.
That's a good name for an album. You should have that. You can have that for your next one if you want.
You have done some method stuff when it comes to previous records as well. It's Nuada, the alternate universe Wickerman soundtrack. You did, one of you at least, stayed in the same hotel room as Sergeant Neil Howie from the Wickerman. Is that correct?
Same hotel.
Oh, not same hotel room.
I don't know, because they filmed it all over the place, didn't they?
Yeah. Terrible noise from next door all night, but apart from that, it was fine.
That was Brick Hetland.
Sorry about that.
The neighbours, the banging on the wall. No, we stayed there. Unfortunately, that hotel's now closed down. It's in a terrible state, but we were still open when we went up there. We went and visited the locations, and we stayed for the same number of nights in the same hotel, and it was a very good Scottish breakfast. So yeah,
They didn't condemn it the morning after you left, did they?
yeah, no,
Just
it
asking
survived
for
a while. We hadn't ruined it, so we didn't block the toilet or anything. It was very, very nice. But yeah, we sort of did that method thing, and then that's what I thought was really fun about coming back and doing a record during lockdown, was to go, well, what do we do? Do we go and do we tour? Do we go somewhere to inspire us? And we didn't. We went to where we'd grown up. Well, where Alex and I grew up.
Yeah, and looking inwardly as well seems to be the theme on this record. There's a bit in Pepper's Ghost, which has a lovely rolling folky feel about it, and then there's this burst of vocal harmony. And that, when listening back to the record, not that there's the rest of it as well, summed up what you do so well, and what a great thing it is to have you back making records again.
Well, that's the loveliest thing, isn't it? It's singing together again. And again, post lockdown, what couldn't you do? You couldn't get together. It suddenly felt like it wasn't sort of folk flavoured. It suddenly felt like it was folk. It was sort of what people do, is they get together in pubs and belt out stuff. I mean, Tom and Tracy, I love doing that with Alex, because Alex is taking the Martin Carthy harmony below me, which I think only Squeeze do that, where someone goes below the other. It's just a great place to be, just hearing that sort of folky harmony.
I don't usually go down low, so I've got one thing off my ear just to get that.
Yeah, it's great. Alex was talking earlier on saying when you're wearing headphones, you can't put your finger in your ear and do the proper folk harmony. Yeah.
Would you like to play another couple of numbers for us now?
Let's do another couple. Right, shall we do Widow's Penny?